The draw has taken place. We know who Iran will be playing in the next round of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. On today's episode, we will take a look at each team in Iran's group and share some final thoughts. You know the deal, and you know what time it is. It's time for Team Melli Talk. Amir Galenoui knows that he has work to do. Hey everyone, welcome back to Team Melli Talk. We know what you want, so let's take a look at the three groups for the next round of World Cup qualifying in Asia. Starting with Group C, Japan, Australia, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, China, Indonesia. Now to Group B, South Korea, Iraq, Jordan, Oman, Palestine, Kuwait. And Group A, Iran, Qatar, Uzbekistan, United Arab Emirates, Kyrgyzstan, North Korea. The top two teams in each group will qualify to the 2026 World Cup. And just like 4 years ago, we will be focusing on Group A. So let's get this started. Iran and North Korea have not played each other since the 2011 Asian Cup. Iran scored a 1-0 victory on that day. Ironically, the North Koreans qualified to the World Cup the last time they were grouped with Iran in the third round of qualifying. And of course, I'm talking about the final round of qualifying for the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. And of course, this is a qualifying campaign that we really don't like to talk about. But in those two qualifiers between Iran and North Korea, it was Iran that got the better of North Korea with a 2-1 victory in Tehran and a scoreless draw in Pyongyang. You know, North Korea is an unknown team, and nearly the entire squad is domestic-based. But the player to watch is obviously Jang Il-gwan because he is North Korea's all-time leading scorer with 30 goals. And he scored 4 goals for North Korea in the previous round of qualifying. North Korea surprised everyone by making it to this round and seeing off Syria along the way. Now I expect North Korea to be very disciplined on defense, but I still expect Iran to win both matches. Iran has a perfect record against Kyrgyzstan with 4 wins out of 4 matches. The last time these teams met was at the 2023 Central Asian Football Association Nations Cup. Team Melli dominated on that day with a 5-1 victory. But if we want to talk about World Cup qualifiers between Iran and Kyrgyzstan, we got to go all the way back to the early rounds of qualifying for the 1998 World Cup. In June of 1997, Iran defeated Kyrgyzstan 7-0 in Damascus and 3-1 in Tehran. Naturalized forward Joel Kojo is definitely the player to watch for Kyrgyzstan. He was born in Ghana, and he is currently playing for Dinamo Samarkand in Uzbekistan. Kojo has scored 7 goals for Kyrgyzstan, including a hat-trick against Chinese Taipei in the previous round of qualifying. Kyrgyzstan has definitely improved a lot over the years, I'll be honest, but this team concedes a lot of goals and lacks talent on defense. Anything less than maximum points would be very alarming for Iran. The UAE, another team that Iran has played very recently. As we remember, Iran scored a 2-1 victory over the United Arab Emirates at the recent Asian Cup in Qatar. Iran also played the United Arab Emirates 2 times in the final round of qualifying for the 2022 World Cup, and it was Iran that got the better of the UAE with a pair of 1-0 victories. The UAE is not a dangerous team, but striker Sultan Adil is definitely the player to watch, because he is only 20 years old and he has already scored 6 goals. Iran has never lost to the UAE in a competitive match, and I expect this trend to continue. Yes, Uzbekistan again. Whether it's friendly matches, friendly tournaments, or different rounds of World Cup qualifying, Iran and Uzbekistan cannot seem to avoid each other these days. The last meeting between these two teams was a few weeks ago. You all remember the scoreless draw at the Azadi Stadium. But the last time Iran and Uzbekistan were in the same group during the final round of World Cup qualifying, Iran got the better of the Uzbeks, a 1-0 victory in Tashkent, and a 2-0 victory in Tehran to book a ticket to the 2018 World Cup in Russia. Nothing has changed with the players to watch. Obviously, it's only been a few weeks. But we also cannot forget that Iran was unable to defeat Uzbekistan on both occasions in the previous round of qualifying. Now, to be honest, I expect more difficult matches with Uzbekistan for two reasons. Number one, the fact that both teams are very familiar with one another. And number two, Amir Ghalanoi's strategic substitutions. Now, I expect Iran to defeat Uzbekistan in Tehran, but I can't guarantee the same thing in Tashkent. There is a very noticeable pattern with this group for Iran, and now we conclude with Qatar. I know we don't like to talk about it, but of course, Iran will be out for blood after losing 3-2 to Qatar in the semifinal of the Asian Cup earlier this year. It was a crushing blow for Iran, and Qatar would go on to win its second consecutive Asian Cup trophy. In terms of World Cup qualifying history, Iran has gotten the better of Qatar. Iran and Qatar met in the final round of qualifying for the 2018 World Cup. Iran scored a 2-0 victory in Tehran and a 1-0 victory in Doha. For me, the player to watch from Qatar is Akram Afif. And this is because he is very fast, he can score from long range, and he is a very good finisher. On paper, Iran is the better team, but we saw what happened at the Asian Cup. The fact of the matter is that if Iran is going to get past Qatar in both matches, they just got to believe in themselves and not let the Qataris get inside their heads. Don't forget, the next round of World Cup qualifying begins on September 5th when Iran hosts Kyrgyzstan at the Azadi Stadium. When analyzing Group A, let's face it, there's not a lot of excitement to this group because Iran is familiar with the majority of teams in this group. So far in 2024, Iran has already played Qatar, Uzbekistan, and the United Arab Emirates. And of course, we can't forget that Iran also played Kyrgyzstan in June of 2023. The fact of the matter is that Iran should top this group without any problems because it is an easy group. If there's going to be any drama in this group, it's going to come from Qatar and Uzbekistan battling for the second automatic qualification spot. But if there is any drama for Iran in this group, we will know where to point the finger.